Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mel Roberson, and I'm here to introduce a new benefit for the Chicago Association of Realtors called Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated. So over the next few minutes, what I'm going to do is go over some very brief information with you and let you know how you as realtors could actually benefit from the services that we provide. So let's get right into the presentation. Our company is over 30 years in business, and we actually began by accident. Our founder, Mr. Harlan Stonecipher, was in an accident in which a lady was severely injured. And even though the accident wasn't his fault, he was sued for it. So back in 1969, he shelled out close to $4,000 for an automobile accident that wasn't even his fault. His family was financially devastated, and he realized he had every type of insurance to cover every area of his life except legal. He had health insurance, which took care of his banged up body. He had automobile insurance, which took care of his car. He had life insurance that would have taken care of his family in the event of an untimely death. But the one type of insurance that he did not have was legal insurance to take care of those fees that had accumulated. We've been a public company since 1976. That basically means that anything we do is an open book and we actually have nothing to hide. Now, one of the things that I love about this company is we have so much third-party credibility. Similar to how whenever you purchased your Mercedes-Benz or your Lexus or your BMW or whatever it is that you drive, the dealer, the salesperson, whoever was showing you that automobile had absolutely nothing bad to say about that automobile. And of course, I have nothing bad to say about Prepaid Legal, but you don't have to buy my word for it because other credible sources are talking about how phenomenal our company is. Forbes, Fortune, Businessweek, Individual Investor, Money Magazine, Wall Street Journal, Wall Street Picks, so much third-party credibility. I mean, I literally could wallpaper this entire room with all of the magazine articles that have been written about us. And to go even further, we have several former attorney generals, presidents of several different chambers of commerce that have given Prepaid Legal the green light, basically saying that this is the best thing since sliced bread and running water. You know, this is something that Americans need. And this is why, or part of the reason why we're doing so well. Number one, people need legal services during two times, good and bad. So we've become the low-cost alternative to high-priced attorneys, and our financial chart is going up and to the right. You'll see that every year, year after year, we just keep doing better and better. Let's talk about the need for the product, or the service rather, that we provide. In the year 2005, there were 37 million hospitalizations. Same year, there were 100 million court filings. Based on statistics, a person is about 3 times as likely to wind up in court than they are to wind up in the hospital. Everybody has or desires to have some type of health care coverage, but what do people do when things of a legal nature pop up? Well, the American Bar Association has said Americans have come to view legal assistance as a necessity, and the best way for the majority of Americans to assure themselves of legal assistance when they need it is through a prepaid legal plan. Think about it like this. Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Tried to return a defective product? Received a traffic ticket? As realtors, I've seen some of you guys driving around trying to get to show a house somewhere, right? Received a traffic ticket, lost a security deposit, been audited, signed a contract, purchased a home, prepared a will, all things of a legal nature. But a lot of times we only think of legal stuff as bad stuff. Legal stuff doesn't have to be bad stuff. If you are advancing in life, you have legal situations. The real definition of a legal situation is any time you could have used an attorney and the outcome would have been better, okay? So the main reason people don't seek legal counsel, well, they're intimidated by lawyers, they don't know who to call, or they believe it would cost too much. Most common response to a legal dispute is to ignore the problem or try to handle it personally. In both situations, the legal situation just doesn't get resolved, okay? So, simply put, we do for legal fees what major medical does for doctor and hospital bills. In other words, many of the legal services that people need most are prepaid through their membership. We're kind of like health insurance. Take the doctor out, put the lawyer in. We offer a comprehensive blanket of protection that covers you as the member. We also cover your spouse or significant other. Again, your spouse or significant other. If you have both, you need to pick which one of them you want covered. All right? If you have both, you're going to need some legal assistance really, really soon. We cover your never married dependent children up to age 21 living at home. If you're the legal guardian of a child, they're covered up to age 18. Full-time college kids are covered up to age 23. And if you have a child that is physically or mentally challenged, they're covered for as long as you keep the membership. all for one low monthly premium. All right, our first area of coverage is what we call preventive legal services. I'm sure you guys have heard this before. They say an ounce of prevention beats a pound of what? Cure, right? The American Bar Association says nearly 80% of all legal situations could be handled in the beginning stages with a simple phone call. I once read in a book, The People Perish for Lack of Knowledge. In other words, if we had the information on the front end when it was just a legal situation, we could handle it before it turned into a legal problem. Our next area of coverage is motor vehicle legal services. By show of hands, does anybody in here have teenage drivers? Anybody? What about drive like a teenager? Right? We got you covered, okay? In the event that you have a moving traffic violation, as long as it's not drug, alcohol, or hit and run related, you have an up-to-date driver's license and you're in a properly registered and insured vehicle, we represent you in traffic court at no additional charge to the membership. Now, the camera tickets, there's not a whole lot we could do about those type of things, but speeding, stop sign violation or something like that. And this is the thing. This is not permission for you to drive worse than you currently do. What we do try to do, though, in the event that you have a moving traffic violation, is we want to keep the points off of your license so that when you renew your automobile insurance, your premiums don't go up, okay? If you've ever been to traffic court, you know that people with attorneys get to go first, and then the peasants one by one file up according to last name. So now, because you guys have to go show homes and properties and so forth and so on, in the event that you have to go to traffic court, you can get in and out and deal with the rest of your day, all right? And again, we try to keep the points off of your license so your automobile insurance premiums don't go up. Now, we also give representation for certain motor vehicle-related criminal charges. In the event that you have an accident and somebody dies in the accident, criminal charges resulting from operation of a moving vehicle, vehicular homicide, involuntary manslaughter, things along those lines, we cover you again at no additional charge to your membership. If you're sued in a civil suit or work-related criminal charge, you now have a schedule of hours to defend yourself. Civil suits and work-related criminal charge. As realtors, I know you guys have E&O insurance, but there's some things that your E&O may not cover on the civil side. That's why this is perfect gap insurance. So we're going to cover you on the civil side of things. Every year that you're a member, your hours of representation go up. By your 5th year, you cap off at 335 hours just in case you're sued. If you're ever audited by the IRS, we give you 50 hours of a tax attorney's time to help take care of your IRS audit legal situation. I don't know if you all remember this. A few years back, Ross Perot, the gentleman that ran for president that looks like the Purdue Chicken Man, right? The old Purdue Chicken Man, not the new Purdue Chicken Man. Ross Perot got audited by the IRS, and at the end of his audit, they owed him over $1 million. So the IRS figured it out. Why are we going to audit the wealthy when we can audit average, everyday, middle-income Americans? Prepaid legal levels the playing field, giving you those 50 hours of a tax attorney's time. We also have what we call our preferred member discount. This is a 25% discount off the standard hourly rate of the provider law firm. This is a nationwide program, by the way, so just because you're part of the Chicago Association of Realtors, if you're ever driving in Florida or visiting family in California, this is a nationwide program, so you're covered wherever you go in the continental U.S., all of the 50 states plus 4 provinces of Canada, you're covered under our membership. But back to the 25% discount, stuff like bankruptcy, divorce, stuff that happens every once in a blue moon that is of a serious legal nature, we're going to give you a top-rated attorney at a fraction of the cost. We also give you what is called the Legal Shield. This is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week phone number in the event that you have a legal emergency. Okay? Your Miranda rights say you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be. You have the right to an. How do you criminals know that? Right? But if you get pulled over, after dinner and a movie with your spouse or significant other, and they say, we need to arrest you, you need to be able to call an attorney. All right? And we're going to talk about some of the things that might pop up when it comes to that. The Department of Children and Family Services shows up to take your children out of your home, possibly. Or maybe you're being served with a warrant or something like that. You're in a serious automobile accident and they want to question you. These are all things where the immediate help of an attorney would be important, and we give you that with our Legal Shield. Let's talk about identity theft for a brief moment as well. Identity theft is not about how careful you are. I know you all are responsible people, but what about the people that actually store your information? Okay? Medical records, school records, military records, utility records, credit card information. If you've ever had a Blockbuster video card, They took a copy of your driver's license and your credit card. So there are so many different places where our personal information is stored, and those people might not be as responsible as you are, okay? So a lot of people think that identity theft is just financial. Popular misconception, there are a variety of different types of identity theft, all right? What if I had a driver's license that had my picture on it, but this gentleman's personal information, and every time I get pulled over, I'm giving them that driver's license. Now, a few months later, he gets pulled over for a routine traffic stop to find out that he has bench warrants out for his arrest because he never showed up to traffic court. Well, he didn't even know he had the moving traffic violations because it was me. Driver's license identity theft happens all the time. Social Security identity theft. There was a young lady that filled out a job application. They said, ma'am, we can't hire you because you already work here. 200 illegal immigrants have been working under her Social Security number, all right? The following year, the IRS tried to get her on $800,000 of back taxes. Medical identity theft, people creating medical bills in your name or using your medical insurance. Character or criminal identity theft. There was a young lady who was a teacher who was almost fired from her job because when they did her review, someone else had been arrested on 3 counts of prostitution in her name. They said, we don't mind you having a night job, but if this is it, we can't have you around the children, right? So criminal identity theft happens all the time. Last but not least, financial identity theft. You all know what that is. And see, this is the thing. Credit monitoring is not enough. If you get pulled over and they want to arrest you, you can't call Citibank, you can't call Discover Card, you can't call the institutions that only do the monitoring services. So credit monitoring is not enough. So we're the only company that covers all 5 forms of identity theft before, during, and after the event actually takes place. But on the financial side of identity theft, we give you access to your credit report with a detailed analysis of what's on your credit. We do continuous credit monitoring, so on a daily basis, if anything pops up on your credit file, you are immediately notified. And in the event that your identity is actually stolen, we go in and we do the restorative services for you. We don't just give you a booklet and say, hey, go get them, Tiger, figure it out. We actually go in and do the restorative services for our members. Ladies and gentlemen, the best answer is Prepaid Legal with the Identity Theft Shield. Again, we're the only company that covers all 5 forms of identity theft before, during, and after the event takes place, plus giving you unlimited access to the justice system. Our membership is only $35.95 per month, less than the price of a cup of coffee a day. If you go to the snack machine at your office once a day and buy a Snickers and a bag of potato chips, you spend about $2 a day on snacks. That's $10 a week. That's $40 a month. Prepaid Legal isn't a financial decision. It's a less than your snack bill decision. And we are the only insurance that makes sure all of your other insurance products work. What do I mean by that? If your health insurance doesn't want to pay a claim, you need to call an attorney. If your automobile insurance doesn't want to pay a claim, you need to call an attorney. If your renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance doesn't want to pay a claim, you need to call an attorney. If your life insurance doesn't want to pay a claim, unfortunately, you can't call anybody because you're dead, but somebody in your family will need to call an attorney. Again, we're the only insurance company that makes sure all of your other insurances work for less than the price of a cup of coffee a day, no long-term contracts. You could only get this thing 30 days at a time. To me, ladies and gentlemen, it's equal access and it just makes sense. So thank you all for being here.